Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Conquest Gaming. Today we're starting our build series again. Today's build will be a Viking style wall that I've been using on some of my builds. So, first thing we'll start with is a pillar, just for our basic placing. So we'll go right there. Now this can be done multiple ways. Uh, we're just going to do a single. We are using the foundation ceilings, but we're going to go 6 wide, and then we will put a 7th one here and get our tower in. And the length is entirely up to you. It doesn't have to be 6. It can be more. It can be less. And we're going to repeat that same thing on this side. And depending on how wide you make it and what you want to do with it, you can skin the middle part here however you want. So we're going to go over, we're going to grab the wooden structures from the Viking mod. For this tutorial, we're just going to go 1, and we're going to skin it with wood. If enough people request, I will do a bigger version, but that's entirely up to you guys. And then right here, we're going to take our ceiling, our roof, we're going to run it around the entire build. Now hopefully we can keep this pattern going. Sometimes with the ground variations, you won't be able to get the bottom part of those roof pieces. Sorry, had a little bit of a thought process error there, but I've noticed sometimes if you're too close to the ground, they won't place, and you'll have to ghost if you're on single player. If you're on a server that you cannot ghost on, well then you'll probably have to figure something else out. Like maybe use I don't know. I don't know how you would do that on official servers. Maybe build it a little bit taller and adjust from there. But this is for single player and maybe some unofficial servers. I haven't done a whole lot with servers, so I'm not sure if you can actually use the ghost command. Okay, there we go. We got all that. Now let's go back into the skins. And we're going to go to the slate roof. And we're going to skin these all the way around. And I've already done a couple builds using this. And I think it looks pretty nice. Alright, there we go. That's what we got. I think it looks pretty cool. Now at this point, you have two options. One, build a sectional wall. Two, you can slap a door in the middle and change these to stairs, or build it out for a walkway and make it a castle entrance or a wall entrance. But for the purpose of this build tutorial, we're just gonna wall it. So we're gonna put wall all the way across. Then we're gonna skip one and then wall all the way across. These are going to be windows. And what's really nice is when you skin them, the windows in the skin mod are pretty cool. They're automatic like arrow slits, which is nice. Okay, and then here, we're going to go there, there, and there. We're going to leave the back regular. Actually, no, wait. I did that wrong. Because just in case you plan on taking it out further on this side, and you can place the windows wherever you want. It all depends on where you want to go with it. You could totally, like, on any one of these sections. Take the wall out more. Depends on the shape of the wall you want. This is just going to be a straight wall. So we'll do the 3. Okay, then we'll switch to this. Take ourselves all the way around here. We'll turn this into a door. Now, as you can see, I did put windows on an upper level. That is because for this one, we're going to raise it up just because. And then you want to go put a door, and then bring it all the way around. And whatever we do on this side, we'll do on the other side also. Height varies on what you want to do. You could make them offset, you can make them completely even. It's up to you. Now, since we're up higher now, we're going to put, that window's off, or that door's offset. So I'm going to put those 2 windows there. Okay, and like I said, oh, that did not place where I wanted it to. Anything we do on that side, we're going to do on this side. So let me get all this put in here. And then we'll run our ceilings again up here. Now, before we get any further, I do want to skin it, which is better or easier done from the inside. At least for the towers, it's easier from the inside. And this is, as I've said, the Viking, called the MSVV Viking mod. And it is a premium mod for $4.99. But so far, I think it's worth it because it just looks really cool. I like the stone texture on it. Oops, well, I didn't skin that door. And I think we forgot that door. Okay. Now we'll skin this middle part. Or I guess we just need the floors, which we are doing wood. And then since it's the interior, we don't need any windows. If you feel like doing something different, you can always add in a door for better access, or you could even put like a little balcony here if you're building down here instead of up. As you see, I put that door there because usually I do this and I make that my uh, ground floor, and then I just add my own roads and ground in. But like I said, it's entirely up to you. You could also just run a ramp or put quarter. I'll just do it real quick. You can either do something like that for access, or you can do okay, apparently it's not going to let us place it like that, but sometimes you can get the ramp to stick out over. That is what I would do right there if you were building on ground floor. And then we would put that there like that. And then grab that. And then grab our skin. There we go. That would be our entrance. In this wall here. And to cut down on structure pieces, if you're on single player, you could use the large wall, because it would reach past those roof pieces. And it would count as one piece instead of 3. You could do that on the tower too. On the straight ones, use the large wall, but we didn't. Now we're going to get our pillars. And this is where it gets kind of fun. So we're definitely going to, since it's attached to the tower, put our pillar there. Then we jump over 2. Jump over 2. And then it should line up 2. And you can do that, again, however you want. You could do it every single one. You could space it. It also depends on how many pieces you went. There's a lot of factors into that. But we're going to go ahead and get the thatch variation of the skin. And we're going to skin these pillars with it. Gives it some detail. Now we're going to go ahead and put our pillars in on our towers. Yes, I see you, Mr. Scorpion. Let's get rid of that guy. Okay. And really, it doesn't matter, for the most part, how these pillars line up. You could have them that way, you can have them that way, it doesn't matter, because the skin that we're using is a round piece. So directional is not really needed, except for on the top of the towers, which we'll get there. Now me myself, I have to have it a certain way just because And then we'll go ahead and get all those skinned up. Alright, so now that we got all that done, what I want to do is run a beam right across the top here. On both sides. And again, mostly just for texture, character, detail, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to skin that. And of course in here you would add a floor, and right here stairs. And then you would wrap some stairs through here, which I like to do the spiral stairs. There we go. And then it all depends on you. If you actually want to use this tower as something, you could totally take the ceiling all the way around. For the tutorial, we are not going to skin that, but instead, we're going to get our pillars back out here. We're going to place them there. We're going to put that one there. Now, you could just use the quarter pillars, or half pillars, all the way across, and then just wall it, or fence it. But my personal preference is the roofed wall. So I put the big ones in there. That's going to bug me. That's better. Alright, so let's get it skinned. Okay, let's get our stone skin. Alright, now let's get our pillars back out. And we're going to put 2 half beams out this way. And we'll skin those with the wood variant. And the reason why we put those is so that we can create ourselves a little roof or a little overhang. It'll all make sense once I start putting it all in. Sorry about that. Now, if you're trying to cut down on pieces, then I would just leave it like that. But for tutorial purposes, we're going to get our quarter roof here. We're going to run it the whole length. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side here. And this is just to get rid of some of those unappealing edges. Let's see, let's skin that. That's fine. We can skin that later. Okay. And it just gives it a nicer, cleaner look down here than having a big old gap there. And then your roof. So that's why I do it. I have not done it on my build so far because I'm trying to watch my pieces, because that adds a lot of pieces right there. Then we're going to go back to our full ceiling, or roof. We're going to put it in. Now, I don't like leaving gaps, so we're going to put that in there like that. And then we'll, nope, not that one. And then we'll skin the roof. And then we'll come back and skin those sloped walls. Now you're not going to see very much of these walls, so if you're not too worried about it, and again, trying to cut down pieces, you don't have to put it there. And then, as I've said, you can take this around. We're going to take it around just for the tutorial purpose. And we'll stop right there. Put the middle in, or you can leave it open. Up to you. I would just suggest if you leave it open, putting rails around. That way you don't fall in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this up one more. On both sides. And we'll skin that real quick. See, like I said, you won't see it that much, but I did it just because. There we go. So now again, we don't have to. I'll do it on the one side because, like I said, anything you do on this side, I would repeat on that side. We're going to put the stair, stair, and then put our floor in. And we'll stop right there. Put the middle in again. And of course, these floor pieces and stairs to make wood. Or you can make them stone if you feel like making it feel like a super impenetrable fortress. For the tutorial, we're just going to do wood. Like I said, if enough people request it, we can do another version of that over here, or I can show how to tie in another section, maybe make a gate right there as a tutorial, but either way. So we're going to get our pillars back out. Oh, I went right past it. And we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, and just keep that all the way around. Okay, and we'll skin those. Get our pillars. The reason why we're only focusing on the one side and not both is because I'm a little pressed for time this morning. So let's go with this. Get our stone. We'll do the rail and the beam. Keep hitting the rail again. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now we'll get our roof on here. And this is how I like to do it. So we know all these are going to be straight. We do our first one with the little side cross piece there. Then, for the rest of them, we just do the one beam out. Like that. Then we'll get our skin. And you'll see why I do this one there. Okay. So now, this is why we put that one beam there. That way we can put our roof like such. And then we just alternate all the way around. To make our roof. I'm not. There we go. Let's get our skin out here. And there we go. Now, we have a few minutes left, so let's see if we can get the other one in here. I think we'll skip the floor though, because I know we won't have enough time to get all that in. But we might be able to have enough time to get the other roof in. Okay, and that I have to. It's bugging me. Hopefully we got enough time to do it. We just won't put an access in. Okay. Now we go beam all the way around. Fence all the way around. And skin all around. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing we did on that side. Just hope we have enough time to finish it. Get close to the end of the video, because on PlayStation you're only allowed 1 hour for some odd reason. It only records for 1 hour, which I think is silly. But it is what it is. We've gotten used to it. All my episodes are an hour long. For other games or playthroughs of ARK. Alright, there's that. Let's get our roof in here. We're going to do it from the inside, because then we can easier add those. Less cycling time. Oops, I had it. Okay. Get that skinned. Get our time of day set a little better here, so we can better see. we go. There's our Viking wall. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I have started posting and stuff about we are finally on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are gradually gaining a few each week. I've been averaging 1 to 2 a day so far, which is phenomenal. But we're on our road to 1K. So if there's any style of build or a building that you want me to try to do a tutorial on, or just build on the build stream, or it's not stream, my build series, leave a comment below and I'll look into it and see if I can find something and replicate it. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying this Viking skin mod. I think it's definitely worth the $4.99. If you watch my live streams, I have a wall that I'm already working on for a build. I've also done a fantasy stream that I'm doing on Aaron Longstaff's build challenge. When a new mod comes out, or I discover a new mod, I kind of go crazy with it. Especially if I like it, like the castle craft structures and this Viking mod. They're both great mods. But we're just about out of time. So like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and most of all, share. Bring other people in. If you like it, they might like it too. We're going to do this for the short, so alright. Have a great day. This is Rowan Conquest, signing out.